Ignore this message, and within just 5 minutes, you might unknowingly set the stage for your final moments. Imagine stepping outside for a routine walk to your mailbox. Your chest suddenly tightens, your breath vanishes, and you collapse on your own driveway, helpless and alone. Sounds terrifying, right? But this nightmarish scenario happens daily to countless people over 65 who never saw it coming. These devastating emergencies aren't freak accidents. They're often the shocking consequence of everyday habits you've ignored for years. Simple routines like skipping medication, ignoring a fleeting dizziness, or brushing off that strange numbness in your limbs are silently accumulating into a ticking time bomb. And when it detonates, it steals your chance to witness another sunrise, hug your grandchildren, or finally take that retirement trip you've dreamed about your whole life. Picture yourself tomorrow morning sipping your usual coffee. Suddenly, a sharp, relentless pain grips your chest, squeezing tighter by the second. Your hands shake violently as you fumble for your phone vision, dimming into terrifying darkness. In that cruel instant, you realize with horrifying clarity that ignoring subtle warnings, those minor aches, that persistent fatigue, that stubborn cough just cost you your life. Why is it that so many never live to celebrate their 75th birthday? Why do some drift off silently in their sleep, while others lose their memories and mental sharpness overnight, plunging into irreversible neurological darkness? The truth is, harsh hidden killers, vascular blockages, unchecked infections, unnoticed organ failures are lurking within seemingly harmless habits, ready to strike without mercy. Today you'll confront the unsettling reality behind the dangerous routines and subtle warning signs that separate vibrant longevity from sudden untimely demise. If you think you're safe because you feel fine, think again. Keep watching, because in a heartbeat, fine can turn into your final breath. Transition, a brief clinical story. Not long ago, I met Henry, a 68-year-old landscaper who prided himself on staying active. He assumed his daily work was enough to keep him healthy. One afternoon, he climbed onto a ladder to trim a tree branch. Something he'd done countless times without warning, he slipped, tumbled to the ground, and fractured his hip. What started as a relatively small mishap spiraled into a series of complications: an extended hospital stay, limited mobility, and the development of a severe respiratory infection due to prolonged bed rest. He told me later that he never realized how fragile his life had become until a single fall nearly took it all away. Henry's story might sound familiar. Thousands of men and women around the globe have discovered that the difference between independence and permanent disability can come down to simple precautions. As we explore the pitfalls many encounter from 65 to 75, you'll see how each misstep robs you of days, months, or even years you could still spend in good health. You'll also see how small changes, like removing tripping hazards at home or modifying your daily routine, can be a literal lifesaver. We aren't talking about intangible theories. We're talking about real actions that make the difference between living on your own terms and struggling through every day in a hospital or care facility. ICOM, the science concise, accurate explanation. The fragility of vital systems. After 65, medical research shows that as we enter our later years, the body's ability to repair itself declines. According to a 2017 article in the journal Nature, aging cells responsible for tissue maintenance start to function less efficiently once adults pass the mid-60s threshold. The heart, for instance, can grow stiffer and less capable of handling sudden stressors, like climbing stairs or fighting off infections. Blood vessels may lose elasticity, making it more likely that a rise in blood pressure triggers damage to delicate vessel walls. Meanwhile, the brain itself remains vulnerable to decreased blood flow. Subtle blockages can slowly deprive sections of critical oxygen, raising the risk of a neurological crisis. Although many older adults presume everything is fine if they haven't experienced a major event, hidden plaque buildup can be quietly accumulating. The World Health Organization (WHO) in a 2018 Global Aging Report emphasized that a large percentage of seniors harbor early signs of arterial plaque without even knowing it. Why small habits become dangerous. Every sip of a high-sugar beverage or hour of inactivity can create a tiny tear in the fortress of your well-being. Over time, these small hits to your cardiovascular system or metabolism add up. According to Dr. Michael Greger, MD, writing in a 2015 study in the nutrition journal Daily Lifestyle Choices, like meal composition and moderate physical activity, significantly influence how well we manage threats such as blocked coronary vessels or irregular blood sugar. Even moderate lapses can speed up the deterioration of essential body systems. Moreover, emotional well-being factors heavily into longevity. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, driving inflammation that weakens immune defenses. A simple argument with a spouse repeated day after day can keep your stress hormones at a constant simmer, sabotaging your body's ability to heal. That's why many older couples notice their health deteriorating after prolonged tension. Elevated stress hormones can take a far greater toll at 70 than at 30. The main risks and how they shorten your life. We are about to dissect the primary pitfalls paralleling the source content's essential points, but expanded with fresh insight so you can see clearly where the danger lurks. Each factor has toppled countless individuals who once believed they were doing okay. If you're anywhere close to 65 or older, pay attention. Any single error could be the weak link that ends your golden years prematurely. 1. Blind faith in predictions instead of action. Some older adults spend precious time consulting fortune tellers or reading horoscopes hoping for reassurance. But passively waiting for destiny is a dangerous gamble with your health. Real science shows that outcomes in old age correlate strongly with daily behaviors. According to data from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health 2015, seniors who adopt an evidence-based nutrition plan and consistent exercise regimen have a 40% lower risk of major vascular accidents. Relying on superstition does nothing to reduce plaque in your arteries or remove hazards around your home. What to do? Turn that energy toward building a robust daily routine. Record your blood pressure, regularly schedule checkups, and ask your physician about ways to reduce your stroke vulnerability. Instead of letting an astrologer forecast your future, be the one who shapes it. To dangerous overconfidence in mobility. The next step into the danger zone often comes with a false sense of security when climbing ladders or stepping onto chairs. As Henry's story showed, a single slip can be your life's turning point. Seniors lose muscle mass and balance reflexes over time. Even if you lifted boxes easily at 60, you might not manage the same load at 70. One wrong move may land you in a hospital bed for months. What to do? Try short balance exercises, such as standing on one foot near a wall for support. Remove loose rugs, cords, or boxes in walkways. If needed, invest in a cane or walker. This is not surrendering. It's safeguarding your freedom to move without catastrophic falls. 3. Neglecting financial stability for later years. Aging can bring expensive surprises, medical bills, rehabilitation costs, or specialized diets. Those without a financial cushion risk. Poor medical care, delayed treatments, or high emotional strain on the family. Tensions and guilt can arise if adult children must carry these costs. Without proper planning, many seniors endure a downward spiral of inadequate health care and depression. What to do? Assess your savings, insurance policies, and pension benefits to confirm they can handle potential emergencies. If you have gaps, consider part-time consulting or freelance work that matches your skill set. Even a small revenue stream helps maintain independence and lowers stress. Talk to a certified financial planner, and don't hesitate to consult your physician about any health-related financial decisions. 4. Overexertion, working like you're still 40. After decades of pushing your body to the limit, it's tempting to prove you still have it. But ignoring your bodily changes invites serious trouble, from arthritic flare-ups to heart strain. A single day of intense labor, carrying heavy groceries or rearranging furniture, can trigger a damaging cascade. Joints under stress might develop inflammation that becomes chronic. What to do? Shift to moderate tasks and ask for help with heavy lifting. Instead of scrubbing the entire house in one day, break chores into smaller segments. Pace yourself. Regular rest is not laziness. It's a crucial investment in preventing a catastrophic musculoskeletal or cardiovascular meltdown. 5. Extreme penny pinching that starves your body. Many older adults survive tough financial times, leading them to hoard resources or skimp on meals. Constantly eating the cheapest, lowest quality food can accelerate vitamin deficiencies and sap your immune system. The chronic undernutrition acts like slow poison, making you more vulnerable to infections or degenerative diseases. What to do: budget for nutrient-dense foods, fresh vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, even if it feels indulgent. Consider pooling shopping resources with neighbors or family for cost-effective bulk buys. Spend wisely, but recognize that adequate nutrition is non-negotiable. According to the WHO 2020 guidelines for healthy aging, balanced meal patterns significantly lower disease risk in older populations. 6. Selling or leaving your home base. Too soon, it's common for adult children to suggest you move in with them or downsize drastically. But relocating to an unfamiliar setting can uproot your sense of autonomy. Studies show that seniors retaining a personal, familiar space enjoy better emotional health and lowered stress hormones. Jarringly changing environments may trigger depression, disorientation, and a faster decline. What to do: avoid hasty decisions. If your current home is safe and not too costly, stay. If you need to move, do so gradually, perhaps by trying short stays with relatives before making it permanent. Maintaining your sense of place can be vital for psychological stability. 7. Falling for dubious miracle health products. The supplement industry targets older consumers with flashy claims about reversing aging or curing disease. While certain vitamins or devices may be helpful, countless products are pure marketing hype. Spending large sums on unproven pills can drain your savings and distract you from real medical interventions. What to do before buying any supplement: consult your physician or registered dietitian. Check credible databases like the National Institutes of Health (NIH) for evidence-based research. If a product promises near-instant cures, run the other way. True health improvements usually require sustained effort and professional guidance. 8. Constant conflict with your closest companion. Persistent arguments with a spouse are more than just emotional strain. They trigger detrimental hormonal cascades. High levels of stress hormones can aggravate pre-existing conditions like high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes. You and your partner may both suffer physically from daily bickering. Peace in your household directly supports heart health, mental acuity, and even immune function. What to do: commit to conflict resolution strategies. Seek counseling if needed. Remind each other that your shared well-being is at stake. By addressing disagreements calmly and promptly, you protect your emotional and physical health. 9. Rushing into remarriage out of loneliness. Late-life remarriage might solve social isolation in some cases, but it can also introduce new family conflicts, especially around finances and adult children from previous marriages. Stressful marital tension is the last thing your body needs at this stage. What to do: approach any new commitment thoughtfully. Take time to understand each other's lifestyle and family expectations. It's often possible to find companionship through senior groups, volunteer activities, or close friendships that do not involve marriage. 10. Assuming a nursing home is your only choice. Nursing facilities can be beneficial for those who require medical supervision. However, it's not always the ideal setting, especially if you're still capable of living semi-independently. Feelings of isolation and dependence often worsen in institutional settings. Many older adults experience depression when they surrender their familiar space. What to do: weigh your options thoroughly. If family or in-home assistance is viable, it may be preferable. Where possible, hire help for specific tasks: cooking, cleaning, or transportation, so you remain in a comforting environment. If a nursing home does become necessary, visit multiple locations, observe staff interactions, and speak with current residents before deciding. 11. Clinging to old work relationships instead of forming new social bonds. Upon retirement, colleagues may drift away as they focus on different lives. This can lead to a sense of loss that feeds loneliness. Holding on too tightly to old connections may stifle your growth and hinder you from building new meaningful friendships. What to do: accept that life chapters change. Stay in touch with a few close former colleagues if possible, but also branch out. Join local clubs or community classes. You'll forge supportive relationships that are more compatible with your new lifestyle. 12. Panicking over a problem instead of letting time clarify. Older adults sometimes feel an urgent need to solve everything immediately. This can spiral into anxiety, stress, and high blood pressure. Instead of overreacting to small crises, allow yourself some breathing room. Often new insights emerge after you rest. Talk to trusted friends or consult professional advice. What to do? Practice mindfulness or relaxation techniques. Jot down the issue and revisit it the next day with a calmer mindset. Chronic worry drains your emotional energy and can weaken your immune system. 13. Flaunting wealth to extended family. Unnecessary discussions of financial success can breed jealousy. Where money is involved, family bonds can fracture. If you become the target of envy, you risk heated disputes and potential exploitation. These tensions spike cortisol levels, impairing heart health. What to do? Exercise discretion when discussing finances. Focus on shared experiences rather than material possessions. Should you wish to assist relatives, do so privately and with clear terms. Protect your emotional well-being by avoiding drama. 14. Neglecting strong neighborly ties. It's easy to ignore neighbors in large cities, but as you age, those living closest to you may be the first line of help in an emergency. Seniors who nurture neighborly connections enjoy safer, more comfortable living environments. What to do? Greet your neighbors, exchange contact details, and offer small acts of kindness. The sense of community can alleviate loneliness and keep you safer, especially if you live alone. 15. Venturing out in dim light without caution. Poor lighting and declining night vision create a risky scenario. Tripping hazards escalate, and a single fall can unleash fractures, infections, and loss of mobility. Many seniors dismiss this danger until it's too late. What to do? Improve home lighting, particularly in hallways and staircases. Use a nightlight for bathroom trips. If you go out in the evening, carry a small flashlight. These precautions drastically reduce your odds of an incapacitating injury. 16. Obsessive comparison with others. Watching peers travel the world or seemingly thrive financially can stir up self-criticism. Yet everyone's journey differs. That negativity compounds stress, harming your cardiovascular system and mental health. What to do? Redirect focus to your own accomplishments and sources of gratitude. Journaling daily gratitudes can decrease stress hormones, according to a 2019 article in Health Psychology. Celebrate what you do. Have every moment of contentment promotes better health. 17. Overindulging at mealtime. As metabolism slows, overeating becomes treacherous. Large meals burden the digestive system and elevate blood glucose, which strains the pancreas. Prolonged overeating can also fuel obesity, a primary risk factor for a catastrophic circulatory event. What to do? Eat smaller, more frequent meals. Sip water before and during meals to sense fullness earlier. Incorporate moderate post-meal walks to help digestion. Consult your physician for personalized nutrition guidance if you have a history of gastrointestinal issues. 18. Consuming excess fat and salt. Heavy salty meals trigger spikes in blood pressure and cholesterol. Over many years, artery walls can stiffen, letting plaque accumulate. This fosters blockages that can lead to either a cardiac crisis or a brain-related vascular event. What to do? Opt for cooking methods like steaming or baking rather than frying. Replace excess salt with herbs or spices. Embrace avocados, nuts, and olive oil in moderation. These contain healthier fats. Keep track of your sodium and saturated fat intake. Consulting your doctor or a dietitian if you're at high risk. 13. Allowing negative emotions to fester. Anger or chronic worry intensifies stress responses that degrade both physical and mental functions. A 2016 review in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research showed strong links between long-term anger and an increased risk of immune dysfunction and cardiovascular complications. What to do? Develop coping mechanisms, breathing exercises, journaling, or guided meditation. If negativity is overwhelming, seek therapy or spiritual counsel. Keeping emotional burdens bottled up can sabotage your well-being far more than you might imagine. 20. Skipping gentle exercise. Aging doesn't mean forsaking all movement. On the contrary, moderate routines like walking or yoga improve circulation and stabilize blood sugar. Avoiding activity accelerates muscle loss and invites metabolic disorders. What to do? Start with low-impact activities. Aim for at least 30 minutes of brisk walking 5 times a week or consider Tai Chi for balance. Consult your physician if you have pre-existing conditions to ensure you pick the safest forms of exercise. 21. Disregarding health checkups. Minor ailments can explode into serious diagnoses if neglected. Early detection saves countless lives. Finding a suspicious mass or irregular heartbeat in its initial stages often leads to more effective treatment. Still, many older adults skip these appointments, assuming they're healthy enough. What to do? Schedule routine screenings, blood pressure, cholesterol, bone density, and others your healthcare provider recommends. Keep a personal health log and share it with your medical team. If you catch changes early, you stand a far better chance of addressing them without drastic measures. 22. Skimping on quality sleep. Older individuals often experience disrupted sleep. Chronic sleep debt, however, undermines memory, mood, and cardiovascular health. Your body performs crucial repair functions during deep sleep. Missing out can accelerate degenerative changes. What to do? Stick to a regular bedtime. Avoid heavy meals or stimulants like caffeine late in the day. Dim your room's lights and reduce electronics. Use at least an hour before bedtime. If insomnia persists, consult your physician about possible causes or therapies. 43. Forgetting that health is your true wealth. No matter how large your bank account, it means little if you're too frail to appreciate life's simple joys. Old age reveals that robust well-being is the real treasure, protecting you from the isolation and helplessness that come with chronic illness. What to do? View preventive care as an investment, not a luxury. Prioritize your body, be it through better eating, physical therapy, or mental health support. Every day you take active steps to remain strong is a day invested in your independence. The missing spark. A personal story of triumph. Let's amplify our understanding with a true-to-life scenario that underscores why these lessons matter so profoundly. Meet Dolores, a 72-year-old retired nurse who found herself at a dangerous crossroads. She had always been the caregiver for others, from her younger siblings to her patients. When she entered retirement, she assumed she'd breeze through her golden years without incident. Yet Dolores' once steady hands developed nerve pain, possibly from a lifetime of physically demanding work. Ignoring the pain, she insisted on continuing her hobbies, gardening, for hours on end, often without breaks. She tripped over a protruding tree root, fracturing a vertebra in her lower spine. That single event forced a cascade of medical procedures, draining her savings and leaving her with chronic back pain. After this rude awakening, Dolores decided to transform her daily habits completely. She downsized her gardening tasks, installed motion sensor lighting in her yard, and began a supervised Tai Chi class to gently rebuild strength. Within 9 months, her physician noticed improved spinal stability, and her pain was nearly halved. Dolores says she regrets ignoring her body's early warning signs, but she's proud that it's never too late to adopt safer practices. Additional case studies anonymized. Warren Thomas, 70, retired teacher. Scenario. After decades standing in front of a classroom, he believed his legs were as sturdy as ever. One slip while changing a light bulb led to a hip fracture. Recuperation took half a year, during which he lost muscle tone and confidence. For outcome, by adding daily balance exercises and removing home hazards, Thomas returned to an active routine. Still, he acknowledges that ignoring age-related changes cost him valuable time and independence. 2. Gray, 66, former business executive. Scenario: worked 12-hour days until retirement, ignoring stress signals. Emotional flare-ups with her husband were common, but she brushed them off. One day she experienced a sudden chest pressure that led to an urgent hospital visit, revealing severe coronary artery blockages. Outcome: Grace now manages stress through counseling, couples therapy, and short breaks throughout the day. Her doctors say that had she waited even a few more months, the arterial damage could have been life-ending. 3. Marcos, truck driver, retired. Silwanis scenario: struggled with high blood pressure, but refused to see the doctor regularly. He considered prescription medication a waste of money. One mild vascular warning episode left him briefly unable to speak. Outcomes: shaken, he finally went for checkups. The diagnosis was an impending brain attack risk. He began medication, improved his diet, and took up walking. Today he shares his story to remind friends that a single checkup can be the difference between living normally or suffering permanent disability. Each of these cases reveals how everyday decisions ignored symptoms, refusal to adapt, or emotional friction can trigger catastrophic health consequences. Action Plan Checklist. Follow-up meal targets below is a structured approach to fortify your health and independence. If you're 65 or older, you can adapt these steps to personal circumstances, but don't overlook them. Each element is a shield against the creeping weaknesses that often catch seniors unprepared. Identify physical hazards. Inspect your home for loose rugs, cluttered walkways, or poor lighting. Ask a trusted friend to walk through your home and suggest improvements. Schedule any necessary home modifications, rails, non-slip mats. Tunayunay. 2. Create a meal blueprint. Aim for 3 moderate meals plus healthy snacks. Integrate at least 1 leafy green or colorful vegetable at each meal. Limit sodium by rinsing canned goods and avoiding processed deli meats. 3. Establish a regular checkup routine. Book an annual physical and specialized screenings, bone density, eye exam, hearing, as advised by your physician. Maintain a personal health journal, noting any unusual pains or changes. Ask specific questions about your risk factors: blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose levels. 4. Incorporate mild, consistent exercise. Might walk 30 minutes most days, or break it into 3 10-minute walks. Explore low-impact classes such as yoga or Tai Chi for balance. Remember, progress is more important than intensity. Always listen to your body. 5. Guard against emotional negativity. Practice a daily relaxation method: deep breathing, guided imagery, or gentle music. Seek help if you notice persistent anxiety or depression. Never feel shame about consulting a mental health professional. Prioritize harmony with close family and friends to reduce stress. 6. Plan financially. Meet with a financial advisor for a retirement checkup. Keep an emergency fund specifically for unexpected medical bills. Communicate with family about your wishes, ensuring transparency and reducing future conflicts. To maintain social ties. Join a local senior group, volunteer organization, or hobby club. Stay in contact with neighbors and close friends. Build a small network of people who can help or check on you. If loneliness creeps in, consider adopting a pet only if feasible, or exploring local adult education classes to meet peers. The 24-hour challenge and 7-day checklist. 24-hour challenge. In the next day, identify at least 1 hazard in your home, like a loose cord, and fix it immediately. Conduct a quick mental inventory of your kitchen. Do you have fresh produce? If not, make a plan to get some tomorrow. Finally, schedule a 10-minute walk. If it's too cold or hot outside, walk inside your home or climb stairs safely. 7-day longevity checklist. 1. Day 1, clear clutter from hallways, add extra lighting in dim corners. 2. Day 2, replace 1 high-sodium meal with a homemade option using herbs for flavor. 3. Day 3, perform a slow, mindful stretch routine, can be guided by a simple online video. 4. Day 4, initiate a conversation with a neighbor, ask how you can help each other. Day 5, do a calm activity for 15 minutes, reading, meditation, gentle music. 6. Day 6, write down 3 personal strengths you appreciate in yourself. Remind yourself you have value at every age. Day 7, make any necessary medical appointments you've been putting off or confirm upcoming checkups. Share this 7-day list with loved ones. The best results happen when friends and family support each other's drive to build better habits. Let them know you're serious about forging a path to a safer, healthier life. Call to comment. Have you ever noticed this sign? Comment, "I feel it," if you relate, "I'm safe," if not, and add a question for the doctor. Your experiences and concerns will guide future discussions. Reading others' comments often sparks insights you never considered. A further warning: the ticking clock of chronic disease. Conditions like type 2 diabetes, hypertensive damage, and early cognitive decline don't appear overnight. They simmer for years, fueled by unwise lifestyle habits. Without consistent management, they can erupt with lethal force like a balloon stretched until it bursts. Many older adults remain blissfully unaware, convinced that because they've avoided major crises so far, they must be invincible. If you've ever told yourself, "I'm too old to change," that's exactly the trap these disorders need to tighten their hold. According to Dr. Dean Ornish, Journal of the American Medical Association, 2010, even late-stage interventions like shifting to a whole food diet and moderate exercise can drastically improve cardiac function. The window never truly shuts until the final breath, but waiting too long can mean the difference between a slight inconvenience and a life-shattering event. The emotional impact of declining independence. Aging isn't just about physical vulnerability. The psychological blow can be devastating. When you can no longer drive or walk unassisted, you might feel your identity slipping away. Loneliness, frustration, or even anger at your changing body can poison your relationships. This mental anguish can manifest physically, further deteriorating your overall health. Nurturing hope. Hamperm. Focus on capabilities, not losses. If you can't do an activity the old way, look for alternatives. Surround yourself with individuals who encourage your progress no matter how small. 2. Guarding against hopelessness. Succor. Seek professional counsel if you feel depressed. This is not weakness but wisdom. Studies show that seniors engaged in meaningful activities helping grandchildren volunteering or creative hobbies report higher life satisfaction. 3. Fostering open family communication. Share honestly with children or close relatives about your desires and boundaries. Avoid moral guilt trips that push them into resentment. Instead, discuss mutual solutions like part-time in-home care or meal rotations. The final frontier, confronting mortality. As the body ages, confronting the reality of death is unavoidable. But how you face it affects not only your emotional peace, but also the burden your family feels. Resentment, anger, or fear can cast a long shadow, leaving loved ones distraught. Alternatively, acceptance can lighten the emotional load for everyone. Staying optimistic without denying reality. Recognize that life at any stage is finite. This realization can motivate you to treasure each day. Take control of end-of-life decisions early. Write down advance directives so your loved ones aren't forced to guess. 2. Forgiveness as a healing force. Nars let go of grudges that serve no purpose but to raise your blood pressure. Some seniors cling to bitterness from decades-old arguments, letting that negativity follow them to the grave. Release it for your own peace. Hanari. 3. Continual self-improvement. Shamane kurihin. Curiosity doesn't expire with age. Whether it's learning a new language instrument or puzzle, the brain thrives on novelty. If you're bedridden, find ways to remain involved. Phone calls, online courses, or video chatting with loved ones. Reality check, a brief but powerful narrative. Let's reflect on one last poignant illustration. Years ago, I interviewed a woman named Sandra, who was caring for her bedridden mother at home. The mother, once a vivacious presence, now lay in silent regret. She recognized how many opportunities she had missed to maintain her health. Simple daily walks, moderate stress management, and ongoing medical evaluations. She had always said, "I'm healthy enough," until a series of severe infections left her unable to even sit up unassisted. Sandra's mother spent her final weeks writing letters to each grandchild, urging them to adopt a balanced life, one that embraces wise choices and close relationships. "Your body is the only real home you live in," she wrote. "Guard it as fiercely as you guard your loved ones." Those words remain etched in Sandra's mind, fueling her own commitment to a healthier, more aware lifestyle. Before knowing, critical reminders for those aging and facing illness. Towards the end of our source material, we encountered crucial insights addressing older adults who fear winding up bedridden, lonely, and ill. The overarching theme is one of self-reliance, emotional control, and acceptance of life's final stages. Here's a distilled version of those key lessons. 1. Adopt an optimistic mindset. Obsessing over mortality can lead to paralyzing dread. Instead, focus on the life you still have, not the end that eventually awaits. Harness your inner strength. Illness may be challenging, but emotional resilience can slow your decline and uplift family members. 2. Cultivate forgiveness and realistic expectations. Recognize that adult children often juggle heavy burdens, jobs, their own families, and finances. Don't manipulate them with guilt. That only drives them away and increases everyone's stress levels. 3. Continue growing until your last breath. Even if bedridden, you can engage in small passions, reading puzzles or phone calls. Keep a sense of purpose by connecting with loved ones, writing reflections, or guiding younger generations with your wisdom. Arda Rekatu. Recap 3 rapid-fire takeaways. 1. Small daily routines define your future. Neglected hazards, poor diet, and unaddressed stress can become lethal in your late 60s and 70s. Two health relationships and a sense of purpose are your lifelines. Strengthening each of these areas grants a shield against both physical and emotional deterioration. 3. It's never too late to adjust course. Whether you're 65 or 90, adopting even one new healthy habit can dramatically improve your quality of life. Join the conversation. If this content resonated with you, please hit the like button, subscribe to stay updated on future topics, and share with friends who need a wake-up call about aging. We want to hear your personal experiences, concerns, and triumphs. So leave a comment below. Have you ever confronted a hidden risk that almost derailed your health? Your answer might guide someone else to avoid the same pitfall. Tim Kiem ChatGPT Co. The McLoy Hui Kiem.